My top 5 favorites in 2025 rapid fire. Magnesium Morning Trifecta, Bouncing, Castor Oil Patch, Artist Way, and Breathwork. But let's go a little bit deeper onto each one so that as you determine what becomes a part of your habit stacking, and you'll go into 2026 strong. Bouncing is so simple. It doesn't cost any money except consistency. And that's 50 light bounces just by the side of my bed. It's the first thing I do when I wake up, just 50 light bounces every morning. It stimulates your rest and renew. It brings oxygen and blood up to the brain and just wakes your body up, helping to regulate your nervous system, which helps you hold on to the magnesium that you are soaking in. Number 2, the artist way. This morning, as I did one of the exercises from the book, The Artist Way, I just it's a book I use every year. It keeps me motivated. It keeps my brain clear and open, and is all you need is a pen and a piece of paper. This morning, I've really been focused on morning pages. I'm decompressing my brain and opening up white space. And I just write 3 pages in my journal. And it's the second that I'm up and cognizant, I grab that pen, I grab that. For me, it's a journal. Shelley's listing those favorites and the links. You can do it on a scrap piece of paper, and I just start writing. And there's no rhyme or reason to the writing. I just whatever pops up in my head. Sometimes it's a topic, and sometimes it's just what pops up in my head. The beautiful thing is that about 2/3 of the way in, my brain starts to get that clarity. Now, for me, in the book, she talks about 30 minutes, and that 30 minutes is solid. I've noticed at about between 15 and 18 minutes, that's where my clarity comes. That's when my writing becomes more fluid. I feel more connected to my body, regulates my nervous system, helps me clean out all of the rooms in my body. So, for example, there's an old saying that they talk about open every door. Think of your body as your home, your house, and you need to clean every single room. And so you open the door, turn the light on, and clean it up for the day. And that's what morning writing does for my body. It opens up my day, it puts light into that area of my body, and it just clears out my brain. I just don't have words to tell you the benefits that I get from that morning writing prompt. Now, in the artist way, you can take it very simply and just pull one of our writing prompts and focus on that, or you can go through the whole course exactly how she has it laid out. The beautiful thing about this is it doesn't matter how you do it, make it work for you. And right now, I'm not going through the whole entire, I've done it before and it's powerful. I don't have the bandwidth. And so I'm not doing it. And speaking of bandwidth, my name's Kristen. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm sharing with you what works for me. And some of these might not be appropriate for you to even try. Okay. And so filter everything through what your body needs. The next one, castor oil. I can't live without my castor oil. I realized I use it every single day. Let me share with you the ways I use it. I use it on, I've talked before, I've got a knee that I just stay on top of. I use a castor oil pack on my knee, and the castor oil is a ricinoleic acid, and think of it like moving things. And so when I put that castor oil pack on my knee, the swelling will go down after, and my knee feels better. Now, study wise, they can't figure out what it's doing. They can't scientifically prove it. If you need that science, this isn't a good fit for you because it works every time I use it. It always is a benefit. I also do liver packs. So on your right side, right underneath your rib cage, right here, I'm not close enough that you can see. Right there. I'll do liver packs. I'll also do over my thyroid, just to get the lymph moving in this area. I put it on the very last thing, my nighttime skin routine. I will put it on if I'm not sleeping in a mask, which I love to do. But if I'm not sleeping in a mask, the last thing I'll do is put just a really thin layer of castor oil over my face. And I just wake up dewy soft in the morning. I'll use it on my eyelashes. If I don't want to wear mascara, but I want my eyelashes just a little bit heightened, looking a little bit more alive and awake, I'll just put just a tiny bit on my eyelashes and they look a little darker, they're a little shinier, and it stays that way all day. Another one, heel spur. I've got a dang heel spur. Ah, dang it. I have a heel spur. And if anyone else has had those, you know how painful they are. They're so painful. And I realized, I'm going to use some castor oil and see if that helps. I use these little, think of it like a round circle band-aid. And you know where the little padding part is on the Band-Aid? And this will get listed in the links. The little padding part right in the middle of that circle is raised a little bit so that that castor oil doesn't seep out. And I've been putting that on my heel. What a difference! What a difference it made in the pain levels on my heel spur. Now, is it healing the heel spur? No. Is it reducing the inflammation? In my opinion, yes. And anytime you've got reduced inflammation, you've got increased mobility, and mobility is everything. I also take the castor oil and I'll rub it in my belly button and just rub a little tiny bit in your belly button. You need to make sure, depending on what your belly button looks like, you can actually cut off oxygen and airflow in your belly button. So you've got to make sure you're keeping it clean because the castor oil is very thick and sticky and gooey. And so make sure you're cleaning that out really well. But all of your nerve endings, that's right there in that belly button. And so it's access to so many different things. I can't be without castor oil. And I realized it gets used probably 5 to 6 times a week at my house. And it's one that I would not want to be without. After I do a liver pack, I sleep better. I feel calmer. My brain pattern has quieted down if I get into that overthinking mode. And so castor oil is a go-to for me. Now, some people will wear their castor oil pack. They'll do a really thin one. Mine's quite thick, and so it would show through my clothes. They do a really thin one with a very thin layer of castor oil without heat and wear that all day long. I like it with heat, and I like to be resting while I do it. That's just what works for me, but I know people that love the other way. And that's the beauty of creating health, is you make it work for you. It's not that you do the tool, you make the tool work for you. And making sure that you're setting it up in a realistic way is key for castor oil, and consistency. Consistency on the castor oil will get you more benefit. Okay, we talked about the bouncing, we've talked about the castor oil and the patch, we've talked about the Artist Way and how much I love that book. I reference it every single year since I've read it. So it's not a book that I read once and put on the shelf. I do have it on my Kindle and realized I want this in hard copy physical dimension. And so I also have the book and the Kindle. So when I have it on both, that means it's an impactful book for me. Breath work. And we're going to add, let me get a little bit of water here. Hold on. Breath work. After I wake up and I get out of bed, I start doing breath work. And I do one that is a couple breaths in, hold it, breathe it out, hold it forcefully, and offsetting the number of breaths. Now, this won't work for everyone. Some people, this actually pushes you more into fight or flight. And I think that's where the overwhelm can come in on creating health, because if you start researching that and getting on wherever you do your research, you'll see all the benefits, but you feel awful after you do it. It's not that breath work doesn't work. You haven't found the one that supports your body. And I need to change this up on what's supporting my body. And right now it's that elevator breathing that's best for me. So breathing it in for a couple counts, holding it for a couple counts, blowing out forcefully for a couple counts. And that is very much supporting. But that breath work is, I can tell the days that I don't do it. Now, I work on one pattern at a time. I wouldn't add all of these things at once. I make sure that I'm working on one pattern at a time and that I'm making it work. So I don't even, it's such a part of who I am. I don't even think about the 50 bounces. I stand up and the 50 bounces just happen. Um, After the 50 bounces, I do some stretching, just some chair stretching, and then um, I go into that breath work. And so stacking it in a way that works for you. It might not work for you in the morning. And so do it at a different part of the day. It's not that things don't work, it's that we need to adjust them and tweak them to our body. The other one that is my foundation, and you know what I'm going to say, but I've got a little bit more added to it. It's the Magnesium Morning Trifecta. The Magnesium Morning Trifecta is life for me. It is collecting sunshine. And remember, the 21st of December was the longest day of the year. And it's the day that we move into more light that's naturally available to us. And so on the 21st of December, I do some very specific journaling, and some of my favorite journals are linked. And I do very specifically in my mind, I'm in collection of light mode. I'm collecting light. The more light I can connect during this time, these next seasons before it changes, the more powerful my health is and the easier it is to create health. And I think sometimes we can just get stuck on finding the perfect foods and the perfect diet and researching, when in reality, focusing on light reduces inflammation, increases nitrous oxide, and that magnesium morning trifecta is the morning light, walking to walk away from insulin resistance. It helps your body be more aware of insulin and how that flow in the cells needs to happen. And it's light, walking, and magnesium. Now, on that magnesium morning trifecta, I also want loads of B vitamins and a natural source of iron. We've talked a lot about ferritin and the role it plays in our body and our nervous system regulation. If your ferritin is low, your nervous system will not regulate. You can only regulate to a specific point if your ferritin is low. And so taking that desiccated liver boosts all the nutrients and gives me a whole food source of iron to help maintain my ferritin levels where I want them to be. And so that magnesium morning trifecta is foundational for me. The acerola cherry powder, that has been such a support to me lately. It is such an incredible dose of vitamin C. It is an incredible dose of copper to help regulate your iron stores, to help increase your ability to access and hold on to copper. It is loaded with micronutrients and supports my thyroid, supports collagen production. And so when you are consistently taking that acerola cherry powder, you'll start seeing it in your skin. And you know if the nutrients are pushing out to your skin, that your organs are better supported because organs are essential. Your body will take care of essential functions before it goes to skin and hair. And so when you see something creating change in your skin, you know that it's already supported the essential things that your body needs. And it's also a part, not completely, but it's a part of hair loss because hair loss almost always has not converting T4 into T3. And because of the micronutrients in the acerola cherry powder, it helps increase that. It supports collagen, which means your adrenals are supported. So, how your thyroid functions is determined by how your adrenals are supported. And so, making sure that I've got that base, that foundation, which is the Magnesium Morning trifecta. And Shelly's putting a link to those. When you buy it as a group, it's a better pricing so that you can keep your foundation strong. Now, I've been talking about foundations for over 25 years. It's not a dopamine hit. It's not something new and shiny to gather, to focus you and get your attention going, but it hasn't changed in 25 years. It still is the most powerful way to build a strong foundation. And then once you've got that foundation built, in the Magnesium Morning trifecta, that's when everything that you're inputting into your body, everything you're doing for your nervous system regulation, everything that you're doing to support your body is more efficient because of the synergy and the foundation building that you've done with the Magnesium Morning trifecta. And it is what got me out of a wheelchair. It is what got me back to gaining weight again, growing my hair back, my eyebrows, is that trifecta. And the most important part of that is natural sunlight. That light speaks to our cells, that early morning sunlight within 2 hours of the sun coming up. It gives our body coded energy that doesn't come any other way. And yes, I have light panels to simulate. It's not the same. There is nothing better than that early morning light. And when you get out there and you get walking, and it's not that you have to soak in your magnesium in the morning, and you might be stabilized that you don't need to soak every day. But you need light every single day. It naturally reduces inflammation in your body, which helps the magnesium become more efficient. Oh, it's just my favorite thing. So let's round it up. The Magnesium Morning trifecta, bouncing, the artist way, um, the, let's see, a breath work, and castor oil. Those are the 5 things that we talked about. Those are the things as I look back over my 2025, what has supported me the most? What is something that I just take for granted that it's always there and I use it every week? And those are the things for me as I journaled, as I prepped for today, that have been the most powerful tools. And some of them are so simple. If you've ever thought, oh, it's so expensive to get healthy, I can't do this or I can't add another cost, get up, walk in the early morning sunshine and bounce. Doesn't cost anything. Doesn't cost anything. But the benefits to your body are huge. And remember, we're filtering it through how our body is set up currently. And so, for example, my husband, a double amputee, and walking out in the early morning sunshine was not a good fit for him. And so he just made sure he was on a scooter out in the early morning sunshine collecting light. And so when we collect light, we reduce inflammation naturally. We get colors of the spectrum that we don't get any other way. And it's those simple, consistent, powerful tools that help us create a strong foundation and either create health or maintain optimal health. I hope some of this has helped. And I am now headed into my heavy journaling season. I love this time of year when it's almost like this nuanced, I have to ask myself, what day is it? What? Because it's post holiday for many people. And it just has this nuanced time. And I love to close down. I call it closing ceremonies. I love closing down and determining what went really well and what do I need to bring into 2026 and what am I leaving behind in 2025. So it was wonderful being with you. Tell me your favorite takeaway and share with me your top 5 favorite things. I would love to know what's really worked for you. Have the best day. Bye. Oh my gosh, I always forget. Oh, there it is. And it's different on every device. And bye, guys.